finish.
Lays the floater in.
Oh, what a move.
Nice dish to Roo from side. Count
She
that.
pulls up for 2. Pretty move.
Another one on the board right there. Reed gets the one.
Sharp gets her first points.
Kelsey Griffin able to finish it off.
Jackie Young getting her second bucket. George will step out for 3. Adelaide Lightning get it done on their home deck. Hello and welcome to round 7 of WNBL action. It's our first game in 10 days. And welcome to Ballarat, Victoria's largest inland city for the Southside Flyers and the Perth Lynx. Live at the Ballarat Sports and Events Centre, and the first game in a festival of basketball here in regional Victoria. Liam Ellison here alongside me is WNBL championship winning coach Laurie Chiswick. And Laurie, welcome. How great is it to have WNBL basketball back?
Oh my goodness, Liam. It feels like we've had a mini break. So a little season, then a break, and now we are back. And can you get two better teams? The reigning champions in the Southside Flyers and the red-hot favourites to win this year's is the Perth Lynx. Well, it has been a fair break for both teams, as you mentioned, Laurie. The Lynx have played just one game this season, while the Flyers haven't played since December 23. How do you think this will affect both teams? Well, they'll be affected slightly differently. Southside have had a 3-week break, and in that time they've had to deal with COVID and isolation. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull up today, their energy levels. And Perth, well, they came into round one, or their first game, really ready to go after being out for a month, and then have another 10 days off. So again, they'll be really anxious to hit the court. Just having a look at the Southside Flyers now. The reigning champs have started the season at 2-2 with their most recent game, an impressive win over the Townsville Fire. How have you seen their campaign so far, Laurie, with a few new faces as well? Well, that was a great come-from-behind win against Townsville in their last game. They'll feel really good about that. Look, they've got some new faces. Maddie Rocci, Abby Bishop has been a great addition to their lineup. We see that Jenna O'Hay isn't there right today. She, again, is recovering from some COVID, and we wish her well and hope that she's back with the team soon. But they really haven't missed a beat. I think they've just flowed on from where they left off last year, and the new players have come in and gelled really well. Abby Bishop has returned to the WNBL this season, and the 2015 League MVP has looked right at home, averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds. Given the void left by Liz Cambage, how important do you think Bishop is to this Flyers team? Well, if you look at the Perth lineup, she is going to be ultra important against the likes of Darcy Garvin and Lauren Scherf. They don't have a particularly large team, Southside Flyers, and so they're going to have to rely on Abby Bishop. But Perth, they are an outside perimeter shooting team, even though they've got some great height in Garvin and Scherf. Of course, Perth fell narrowly in their season opener on January 2nd. They fell 86-88 to Adelaide. But despite the loss, it was import Marina Mabry who had 30 points and 7 triples, Laurie. I do not think you could ask for a better start to a WNBL season than what Mabry put up those numbers. 30 points, 5 assists. She was just on fire and was so much fun to watch. Well, it's Adelaide, Canberra and Melbourne who created a little bit of separation early on in this season, but looks a pretty even competition, Laurie. The likes of Sydney and Bendigo have really pushed some teams. Well, it's hard to say because some teams have only played as Perth 1 game, some have played 6 games, so it is a little bit disjointed. But one thing that's become really clear is no team can walk into a game and expect a W. Everybody is competitive in this competition. Round 7 is Reach Out round in the WNBL. The round aims to shine a light on mental health and encourage people to reach out in times of need. Reach Out round is proudly supported by Beyond Blue, Headspace Ballarat, Kids Helpline and Lifeline, as we have a look at some of the Southside starters now, Laurie. Well, as we see, as I mentioned earlier, Jenna O'Hay is in absence, but Amy Rocci steps into that starting lineup. And for Perth, well, that's the exact lineup that they started against the Adelaide Lightning, and we know how potent they were, scoring 86 points. And how great is it to see Sammy Whitcomb back in the WNBL after a 4-year hiatus? I love Sammy Whitcomb. I love what she brought to the Asia Cup with the Australian team. Her leadership, her competitiveness, her toughness, her ability to score in all sorts of manners. And she will translate that into the Perth team. And she's a real added impetus to that Lynx. Nervous anticipation for both teams. It's been a while since they've hit the floor. As a coach yourself, Laurie, how would you address your troops with that nervous anticipation building up? Well, I think it'd be more excitement than anything, relief that they're back on the court, they're playing, they train so much and they just want to get out and play. So I think it'll be relief, it'll be excitement, it'll be a bit of nerves, but everybody will be anxious for that ball to be tossed in the air.
Well, Perth will have no shortage of basketball in the next 5 days. They've got 3 games in that period in round 7, including a trip to Canberra on Friday night, then back here on Monday night again for a game in Ballarat. So the Festival of Basketball here in regional Victoria is about to kick off, and it's Blitzarves and Scherf to take away the tip. And Scherf will win it for Perth, so they have the first chance here. Here's Jackie Young. What a signing for the Perth Lynx, Laurie. Former #1 pick in the WNBA out here in Australia. It's great to see.
Well, and a gold medalist at the recent Olympics. And the lane just parted there for Sammy Whitcomb. She took advantage of it in a nice finish.
Perth draw first blood. Sammy Whitcomb off to the perfect start. Rochi hands it off to her namesake. He's Blitzarves driving baseline. And the seas parted on the other end.
They certainly did. I think there was a little miscommunication on who was going to help on that defense, and nobody did, and she went straight to the rim.
Young inside, and Mabry gets it to go.
Well, that's unusual to see her first basket inside the paint.
7 of 13 from 3. Last game for the Lynx, Marina Mabry. Going to be interesting to see how she goes in this one. One of the players to watch here, Blitzarves. That's a long 2. Scherf pulls it down for Perth. Whitcomb, 2-time All-WNBL team. That time no good for Mabry.
You can see, though, how that is her first thought is to just catch and shoot it straight away, and she's always set in that shooting position.
Here's Bishop working inside on Scherf, and that'll be a foul call on the Lynx. Looks to be assessed on Scherf. In fact, it's Jackie Young.
Yeah, she probably didn't need to reach in. She really bailed her out. Scherf was doing a great job of keeping her body upright and her hands straight.
Rochi, Cole will stop and fire. Mabry looking ahead. Garvin with a screen. Couple of mishandles. She's fallen to the floor, giving it away. Now Beck Cole. 2 defenders ahead of her. Rochi, transition 3. No good that time. Perth a chance to settle. Jackie Young retrieves the ball back, gets the O-board. A third opportunity now for Young. Back out to Whitcomb. Whitcomb with a defender in her face, and good defense from the Flyers, Laurie.
Well, it was, except they wouldn't be happy with 2 O-boards. Really, Perth let them off the hook.
Beck Cole slowing things up. Rochi picks up her dribble at the elbow. Bishop contested 2. Whitcomb did well to tap it out. And Mabry drawing contact.
Both teams are really trying to get up and in defensively and carry hands, be active with their hands.
It looked like Mabry sort of used her elbow a little bit there on Cole, but it will be Perth ball.
Interesting, we've seen Perth on their shots they've taken so far have all been inside the paint. Maybe that's a strategy that they, you know, they want to try and mix it up a little bit more. They did take 33 threes in their first and only game. Wow.
And of course, shooting at 45% from long range in that one. They were outscored points in the paint 40-24, but only fell by 2. Young, nice pass inside the Scherf.
That was a really nice read as to what the defense was giving them and who was helping.
Cole throws up the layup and turnover, Perth ball. It's that pick and roll again. Jackie Young had 4 assists in her debut for the Lynx, 9 points. Alex Civittoni into the ball game for the first time. Mabry again inside to Scherf. She's got the advantage.
Well, if Southside are going to switch that on ball every time, then Perth are going to have an easy look at the basket with Scherf.
Rochi all the way to the hoop. This is on the lay-in though. Perth with a quick start here, 3 minutes in. Hands it over to Mabry. She'll pull up for 2. Rochi did really well. Nice pass inside to Bishop, and that'll be a foul call. So Abby Bishop will go to the free throw line.
What I liked about what the Flyers did this time down the floor was that whilst Perth was back on defense, defensive transition, they weren't ready. So they hadn't really matched up. They hadn't really talked about who was taking the trailer, who was coming in. Abby Bishop ran straight to the point of the rim, and it was a great pass into her.
Bishop having another great season in the WNBL. Didn't play in the bubble last year. But 250 games of WNBL experience. Wickham. Well, Rochi did well. Mabry holds on to it though. That'll be a foul call, says the referee.
Offensive foul, number 3 for Arena.
Offensive foul on Mabry.
That's the thing about Maddie Rochi. She is just a gritty defender, and she fell, she got up, she got position, and she is going to dog her Mabry all game, I think.
What a pickup in the off-season for the Flyers is Maddie Rochi. Cole's having another great year as well. Great passing the Flyers. Blitzarves finishes it off.
Really good teamwork, good ball movement, good player movement, and Sarah did a good job of pinning her man and holding that pin.
Mabry thought about the 3. No limits to her range. Inside to Scherf. Backing down Bishop. That one's good for the Lynx. Rochi the other way. Inside to Bishop. Blitzarves has been active early. Not a lot happening here. Rochi's got to go. Single digits on the shot clock. Perth come up with the stop. Wickham, plenty of blue shirts ahead of her. Steps back for a 3.
Oh, that would have been great.
They would have got the crowd up and about. Wickham had 13 points and 7 dimes. Oh, what a pass into Cole. Flyers chip back at that lead. Garvin with the screen for Civittoni. Wickham hands it back out. Now Mabry. Again, shot clock winding down. Shot missed, and getting a hand in there of the Lynx. They've got numbers ahead. Easy bucket for Scherf. Good D, Lynx.
Scherf is having a real impact on this game. She's up to 8 points already.
Great start for Scherf, who continues to improve at WNBL level. Rochi. Blitzarves comes to the screen. Rochi will pull up. Jumper falls for Amy Rochi.
That was a nice little snake dribble pull-up.
Wickham nearly bounced in. Civittoni. Scherf finishes it off. Perth add a little bit to that buffer. It's been a fun start here in Ballarat. Rochi drives baseline, back out to Cole, wide open from the top. Makes him pay. Flyers back within a possession.
Lots of poise by Maddie Rochi driving that under the basket. The defender stopped her and seeing the open Cole at the three-point line.
Mabry said go and get it to Scherf. Back out to Wickham. Corner 3. Just off. There's been some great team basketball and passing from both teams in this one so far, Laurie.
There really has. I thought they were a little bit fumbling those first few minutes, but then after that, both teams have really settled, and that had some good looks.
Chibatoni continuing that trend. Inside to Mabry. Follows her own miss and draws the foul on Bishop. So Mabry continuing her high usage game so far. She looks dangerous every time she gets the ball.
That was a smart play, an experienced play by Mabry to get that rebound, and really wasn't in a position to shoot it, but just put it up and came in contact with Abby Bishop's arm.
30 points in the last outing, as we spoke of. Over 13 points per game last season with Dallas in the WNBA. And was a member of that 2018 NCAA championship winning team with Notre Dame, alongside Jackie Young. So college teammates. You wonder how that plays a role here. Bit of chemistry, Laurie.
Oh, it'd have to be. And that, just that comfort of having somebody that you know on your team off the court as well, but certainly on the court, I would think that they combine well.
Christy Wallace into the ball game. Great to see her getting some burn at WNBL level. It's been a tough road back after some knee injuries for Wallace. And Jarry checks in for Blitzarves.
We can see that both coaches have subbed fairly liberally this first quarter, and that could be because of the break that they had. I'm not sure how hot it is in Ballarat in that stadium.
Wallace, pull up Jay. Long rebound. Jarry follows it, does well. Jump ball, says the ref. Possession arrow way of the Flyers. Two and a half to go on the first here. Rochi inbounds to Wallace. Kate Gaze into the ball game as well. She'll step into a long-range Jade. Perfect start for Kate Gaze.
Southside in the rebound.
Here's Scherf. She's been very active early. Rochi got a hand in. Turnover. Flyers. Chance to take the lead. Moving it around the perimeter. Here's Wallace. Fading away. Christy Wallace nearly went. Chibatoni ahead to Eisenberger.
Just slowing it down a little bit right now, which is a good decision.
Chibatoni. And rebounding for Perth. It's fallen out to the Flyers. Fast break opportunity. Jarry, transition three. Touch strong. And Jackie Young did well. How about those imports for Laurie? We've spoken about them before, college teammates, but, you know, Perth being one of the championship potentials, if you like, in this season. They've got a pretty deadly guard lineup, don't they, when you add in Whitcomb as well? Well,
their perimeter shooting, as was demonstrated in their first game, was unbelievable. They certainly haven't found their range in this game, and when that happens, you've got to be able to find different ways to score. So if your three-point shot isn't working, you need to be able to get the ball inside. You need to be able to put it to the ground and dribble penetration. But I'm sure they'll find their range.
Here is Young. Just assessing their options. Perth single digits in the shot clock now. It's just gone off the foot of Whitcomb. Rochi ahead. She's got a chance. Makes them pay. Costly error for Perth. And Southside take the lead for the first time. Under a minute remaining here in the first. Garvin. A little short on that three-point attempt. The Flyers have the momentum here. Jarry hands it out to Rochi. Jarry trying to position herself down low. Gaze, that's a deep three.
Oh, Kate Gaze.
Drops it in. Kate Gaze is on fire early, and the Flyers, the last 3 or 4 minutes, Laurie, it's been all Southside.
Well, we really shouldn't be surprised with Kate Gaze. We know that that's her shot, that's her game. But wow, was that ever shot with a lot of confidence.
Flyers out to a 4-point lead. Another chance for Southside. Jarry finishes it off. 6-point leaders. Perth need a response.
10 seconds.
So 10 seconds remaining. Jackie Young inside to Garvin. And Southside get the stop. So 21 to 15 leaders. And over the last 5 minutes, it's been all the Melburnians. Southside leading by 6, Laurie.
Well, I mean, Southside have done a great job of really pushing the ball, getting it into the right people's hands in the right spot for open looks. Whereas I think Perth have been rushing their looks. So they've come down the floor. They haven't made necessarily great decisions, and that's affected their shot selection.
It's been a fun opener here in Ballarat. We'll see you very shortly for the second quarter. Flyers by 6.
To everyone who said we're not strong enough, not fast enough, wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. And do we dunk? Hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything approved, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Well, welcome back for the second quarter here. The Flyers in Perth, and how great to be here in Ballarat for the Festival of Basketball in regional Victoria. Perth, of course, based in Ballarat over the next few weeks. And meanwhile, in this ball game, Laurie, Southside finished that quarter on a 14-3 run.
Well, they did. It was a great way. They started a little bit slowly, but they just chipped away, and then all of a sudden seemed to get that momentum. And those last couple of minutes were all Southside.
Lauren Scherf leading the way in this one with 10 points. She's got 10 and 5. 10 of their 15 points as Rochi nearly finds her way in. Whitcomb crashing over the top. Rochi looks a bit sore, but good to go.
Personal foul on Southside Flyers, number 10, Andy Bishop.
Foul call, though, will be on Whitcomb, in fact. Meanwhile, for the Flyers, it's Gaze leading the way with 5 points, but an even spread of 6 scorers for Southside so far in this one, Laurie.
Well, that's exactly right. They've been sharing the ball really well, and as I said earlier, they're recognizing who's open, who's in a good place to score, and they've done a great job of finding that person.
Court just about good to go. Mabry and Garvin exchange some pleasantries.
So surprisingly, Perth are 0 from 4 for the three-point line, so we'll see if that changes at the start of this second quarter.
Only a matter of time, you'd think, with so many sharp shooters.
Having said that, I think we need to give some credit to Southside Flyers that they've been, you know, trying to contest every shot, getting a hand up there.
Pause and play here. Couldn't do with too many more pauses after what's been a pretty empty few weeks of WNBL basketball. Great to be back here in Ballarat.
And you get so used to watching games, you know, we were having 3 or 4 a week, you know, condensed on that weekend, and then all of a sudden there was Christmas and nothing, so it really feels good to be back.
Flyers first game back since December 23rd before Christmas. And of course it's reach out round here in the WNBL, raising awareness for mental health. looks to be confusion over on the scorer's table. 3 games in 5 days for this Perth team, Laurie. Of course, travelling up to Canberra on Friday night. Pretty hefty schedule. I know they haven't played much in the last few months, but do you think after a big layoff, that heavy schedule is going to be, especially on the Monday game, is that going to really play an effect, do you think?
Well, players love it. It's like being up in the hub last year where you had very little time to train and just play. And so that'll be the situation here. The day off between will be a recovery, just going over scout notes, and then it's on to the next game. So, as I say, players love it. It's a bit stressful for coaches, I might add, but everybody is just, everybody is being really flexible with all the situations. Anybody I've talked to, even I was speaking to Tracy Browning, the general manager of Flyers, and she said, she was talking to Brent Dawkins from Perth, and they're talking about, can you share any rapid tests with us? Do you have any, so everybody's just so supportive to get all the teams back on the courts and to keep the WNBL going and keep games alive, that I'm really impressed with the flexibility and positivity of the teams.
She's searching for rapid tests. I think that's a story that most people in Australia can really get around at the moment, Laurie. Look, Lauren Scherf's been unbelievable in this one. 10 points and 5 rebounds, and maybe the Flyers just a little bit undersized. Do you think she's going to be a real difference maker down the stretch?
Well, I think they need to focus on, the first 3 or 4 plays in the game, they went inside to her, and it was so successful. So keep doing that. Keep going there until the Flyers have an answer to defending that high pick and roll with Scherf rolling hard and being a big target in there. Keep going there.
11 points and 7 rebounds last season for Scherf. It was statistically her best season in the WNBL. She's made the switch to Perth this season. She was with Sydney last year, and just 25 years of age, very young, but nearly has 200 games of experience, Laurie, over 170. So she's an experienced player, really, at her age.
She is, and I was really glad to get, if I mentioned the Asia Cup, I thought that's the best I've seen Lauren Scherf play, really, in her career. I thought she was outstanding in what she brought to the Opals in that tournament, and so I was really interested to see how she would go in Perth, and it looks like she's enjoying it. Although when I was talking to Ryan Petrick today and asking how the imports were coping with, not being in Perth and being in Ballarat, he said, well, he feels for Lauren Scherf because she moved over to Perth to have the Perth summer and the beaches, and now here she is in Ballarat. So, but it's certainly not affecting her game tonight.
Absolutely not. She's been unbelievable, and you never know, maybe a member of that Opal squad that are playing in the FIBA Women's World Cup later this year. Laurie, what do you reckon? Do you like her chances of making the team? It's a tough team to break into, we know.
Well, it is, but the thing that's great is Sandy Brondella's got a really versatile list of players that she's looking at. She's always said that anybody that has a good WNBL season will be looked at. It's really hard because the time they have together, they'll have one training camp before they go off to their qualifiers. So it doesn't give the coaching staff a lot of time to look at players. But I think everybody's got an open mind, and, there could be some changes adrift, for this next period.
Of course, under a year to go now until the 2022 FIBA Women's World Cup in Sydney, Australia. If you didn't already know, 22nd of September to the 1st of October. Great chance to see our Opals here on home soil. And just the second time Australia will host the World Cup, the other being in 1994. And look, 2018, we know that was a silver medal, Laurie. You never know, is gold on the cards? Very well could be. Well,
it's a home tournament, which is always a great boost. And all the players that are playing currently overseas or in the WNBL right now, I tell you what, they would all be wanting to vie for a spot in that 12 to be able to play in front of home fans and family.
Well, the Flyers, the reigning champions, they've certainly been all their way the last 5 minutes or so. We might have some highlights in a sec of their opening 10. Lixar's back in the lineup. Of course, just 2 games so far this season. A little bit of an injury-interrupted campaign for her.
And they certainly needed her back into the lineup now that Jenna O'Hay is not with them right now. Because as I mentioned, they're not a huge team. They don't have a lot of size. But what they do have is that ability to switch a lot because they're similar in size. They're quick. They can run the floor. And we've seen them push the ball. Maddie Rott, she's great at pushing the ball. And so they can have different looks. And then the likes of Kate Gay's just shooting the lights out.
Speaking of experience at a young age, Maddie Rocci, what a pickup she's been. 2-time champion already, of course, with the UC Caps. And there's no shortage of championship experience on this Flyers team, is there? No,
and when Leilani Mitchell went to Bendigo and that gap was there to be filled, I mean, not a better person to be able to come in and to fill that gap. So she's done a great job for them. Not only just running the team, but she is a great defender. She's one of those guards that really can get under the skin of the opposition. She can get over on-ball screens. She fights hard. She scrambles. So she's a great pickup.
Just getting word from the scorer's bench now. There's been a confusion between the scoreboard and the scorer's sheet. So they're just working that out at the moment to get things all in line.
When it comes to that, my understanding is that the scorer's sheet is always what's correct as opposed to what's up on the board. So that's generally, if there's any controversy, it's what's on the sheet. So
yeah, that's always been my understanding as well. Hopefully we get it sorted out in a second, get the basketball back underway here in Ballarat.
It's always hard for the players and the coaches and the fans. Everybody's sort of sitting around. You've had a whole quarter. You know, they just want to go. They just want to keep going. You almost feel like you're going to have to run another warm-up.
Great to have basketball up here in regional Victoria, of course. We had some games in Traralgon scheduled as well. Would have been great to get basketball down to Gippsland. Jake Melbourne as well was going to play in her, home part of the world. Unfortunately, due to the world of COVID, that one has been cancelled. But
well, that was going to be Kelly Wilson's 400th game, and she comes from Leongatha, which is right down there. So Kelly's had to wait. I think it's been cancelled twice, the games that were going to be her 400. So fingers crossed, this Friday she'll get to play her 400.
It's going to be great. Cannot wait to watch that one. It's going to be unreal. Kelly Wilson, the first player in WNBL history, set to become the first to play 400 games. Already the game's record holder, and what a player she's been, Laurie.
Oh, she's, we'll talk a lot about her in the next game, but she's just a superstar, a legend of our game, and 400 games, forget women's basketball, just sport in general, men or women, that's just a phenomenal record.
Well, the players are out warming up, so there will be a little bit of a delay in action. We'll be back as soon as the game's underway, hopefully just a couple of minutes. See you very soon. The Flyers leading this one by 6. Alrighty, back in action here in Ballarat, and it's been resolved. The score is in fact 20-15. So we're underway. Darcy Garvin gets proceedings back underway for Perth, and maybe that little break in play just ruins the Southside momentum, Laurie.
Well, that was a nice little step through by Darcy Garvin. Again, a nice inside look for Perth.
Blitzarves keeps it into Southside. Wallace. Nice move baseline. Strong bucket for Christy Wallace. How good does that feel?
That was good. That was a physical layup that she had to do there against Sammy Whitcomb. And it is so great to see Christy Wallace back on the floor playing.
It certainly is. As the long three-pointer drops for Perth. Towels waved to the bench, and Garvin loves it. 3-point ball game.
Well, you have to expect Darcy Garvin shot 3 out of 4 last game. She's a good 3-point shooter, so you have to carry a hand and respect that if she picks and pops, she's going to shoot that ball.
Rocci now. Oh, big block by Garvin. Stays with the Flyers, but how about that from Darcy Garvin? Doing it on both ends.
Well, in fact, that wasn't a pick and pop. That was just a wide open look.
Can't give her that much space as that 3-pointer's off the south side. Mabry. She pulls up for 2. Foul call, says the ref. So Perth ball.
First personal foul for Maddie Rocci.
Looks to be on Maddie Rocci. First personal for her. Whitcomb to inbound. Mabry doubled on that attempt. In fact, she will retrieve it. Jackie Young assisting with the screen. That's a deep three for Mabry. We know she can hit that, and she does.
Little bit of miscommunication on defense there, whether they were going to switch or stay with their player. It would have been an automatic switch because it was just 2 guards. You can't give her that much space.
Lynx draw even, 23 apiece. Rocci working her way in. Great move.
Nice little hesitation dribble by Maddie Rocci.
Ahead to Mabry. Perth pushing it in transition. Now Mabry trying to draw the foul, makes the bucket anyway.
She's taking advantage of just that slight height. She's just got a few little inches on Maddie Rocci.
Whitcomb nearly did really well. Stay with the Flyers. So Mabry up to 8 points now in this one. Continuing her dominant start to this WNBL season. Wallace inbounds to Jarry. Some of the bench unit out now for the Flyers. Gaze. That three-pointer off. Just falls into the lap of Jarry. Makes him pay. Southside retakes the lead. Young inside to Garvin. Rocci comes over to double. In fact, it's Christy Wallace, excuse me, and Wallace comes up with it on the other end. It's been a great shift off the bench for Christy Wallace, Laurie.
It has, and really active with her hands and trying to get deflections, and it's paid off for her.
Of course, injuries have stopped her progress in the league so far, but this season, 7 points per game, 20 minutes off the bench. Wallace is playing a great role. Great to see her doing well, a 26-year-old. Got a long career ahead, you'd think. Southside continuing this run. Mabry searching for assistance. Scherf back into the ball game. Using her size and strength, but Blitzarves did well. Cole ahead to Blitzarves, and the Flyers running the break.
Great pass, great running, point of the rim. Good vision, and nice finish.
And the Flyers get it back out to a 6-point ball game. Timeout on the floor, 31-25. Here's that lay-in again from Blitzarves.
And that's the thing, when you have somebody, you know, I was talking about the size. Well, you have somebody of Sarah Blitzarves' size who's not that tall, but she's your foreman. She can run. She's so athletic, and she can catch the ball and finish strongly.
Cheryl Chambers talking things over with her troops. Championship-winning coach. Of course, coach is wearing the reach-out round T-shirts here in Ballarat. What do you think the message would be from Cheryl Chambers right now, Laurie?
Well, I think it's to keep up the intensity as far as the tempo of the game right now. It's really suiting Southside. They're getting some good looks. They're running the floor really well, pushing the ball up the floor. And defensively, I like how active they've been. To keep Perth to 25 points almost halfway through the second quarter, they've been really active, proactive on defense.
Certainly been up and about the last 10 minutes. 5 steals as a team, and 13 bench points to 0, as you can see there on the screen.
Well, that's one thing we know about the Southside Flyers is they got depth, and so when they bring some very experienced players in, they really don't lose too much.
Garvin hands off to Mabry. Back to Garvin. Scherf will fire. Corner triple. Good passing, Perth.
Well, that was a good read. They recognized that the Flyers had made an adjustment and come across to help on that roll and to kick it out to Scherf waiting at the three-point line. And again, another big that can shoot the ball.
Scherf continuing her dominance. Now she comes up with a steal, tries to keep it in. Cole intercepts it, Blitzarves to the hoop. Back up by 5. Blitzarves arrests control, and Rocci hits the floor hard. That'll be an offensive foul on Sammy Whitcomb. Ryan Petrick looks bemused.
That's the second offensive foul that Maddie Rocci has drawn on the Perth Lynx, just by being there in the right place at the right time, playing that dogged defense that she does.
She's a pest in a good way, Maddie Rocci.
Exactly, Liam.
Great defender for this Flyers team. Another break in play. As the court gets swept up, here we go. Wallace inbounds. Cole. Working on Scherf. So Perth holding down the fort here. Inside to Jarry. Scherf did well. Flyers another chance. Fresh 14. Cole wide open. Makes him pay. Flyers out to an 8-point lead. Scherf inside to Garvin. Reverse lay-in's good.
That was a nice finish by Darcy Garvin, recognizing that her player had overplayed slightly and was able to make that backdoor cut.
Rocci working inside. Scherf well defended. Wickham running the fast break. Hesitates. Oh, what a move.
Sammy Wickham, just that little hesitation at the top of the key. Thank you very much.
Hasn't had to do a heap offensively in this one so far. Wickham up to 4 now. Gee, that was a nice move.
And I was about to make the comment a few plays ago that Southside had done a great job in defensive transition, that they hadn't had any really quick looks. And then Sammy took absolute advantage of not great defensive transition.
Rocci over to Wallace. Finds a gap in. Just missing, but trip to the charity stripe coming up for Christy Wallace.
Christy Wallace is really showing her athleticism. If we can see on the drive the way she takes that bump, eyes on the target, is still able to you know, put a shot up there. Now she finds herself at the line.
Of course, speaking of future Opals, Wallace was a member of that 2021 FIBA Asia Cup team, so she's in the mix. Maybe for a berth in a few years' time. Maybe this year at the World Cup. Takes care of business, and the Flyers continue the momentum. Congratulated by her teammates as Rocci checks back in. Wickham over to Clark, hits the ball game. Wickham wants to pick up her dribble. Now Clark all the way to the hoop, aggressive early. Garvin over the top of Rocci. Jump ball, says the ref.
In possession.
So it will be Southside ball. Ryan Petrick controlling the sidelines. Relatively new, obviously his second season in the league, Laurie. Relatively new to many WNBL fans. How would you describe his coaching style from what you've seen?
Well, to be fair, he hasn't really had a, you know, he was in the bubble last year. That's very different when you're coaching. And then this year where you didn't play the first month and now you're sort of thrown to the wolves here and you're in Ballarat. But just speaking to him, I'm really impressed with his, you know, his ideas, the way he's approaching this season. Wow, and the way he recruited is certainly impressive.
Sammy Wickham showing just that right there. Nice take. Winsard's hitting it 3 moments ago. Here she is again. Feeling it. Can't make it go down that time. 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. And Wickham draws the foul on Rocci. It'll be her second personal in the ball game.
Maddie Rocci picks up her second personal foul.
Here's Clark again, off the pine for Perth. Garvin, just enough space to fire. Southside now. Bishop going back to their starting 5 now, the Flyers. Cole trying to make something happen. Pulls up the 2, Beck Cole.
Good defense there from Perth. I thought they did a really good job of communicating, switching. Oh.
Long pass from Whitcomb, and Chibatoni's drawn the foul. Great find.
Just a miscommunication on the Fire's part to have that wide open. A good pass by Sammy Whitcomb, mind you.
Definitely was. She takes a break now. 6 points, 2 boards for Whitcomb. She's been active, especially in the second. First one's good for Chibatoni. Former Rookie of the Year here in the WNBL. Been around a while now as well, Laurie.
It's good to see somebody like her that's sort of a blue-collar worker, you might say, and being able to contribute the way she did, certainly last year and this year as well.
Her best season last year for the Lynx, 10 points per game. Southside, Bishop, driving baseline. Cole desperately keeps it in. Single digits in the shot clock. Cole steps into a 3. Oh, Beck Cole drains it.
Well, you would never know Beck Cole has been off isolating with COVID, very, very ill for 6 days in bed, the way she's playing right now.
Looks a ball of energy as ever. Beck Cole, absolute handful on transition.
She has to be one of the fittest players in the WNBL, so I was really wondering, you know, if it would take much out of her, but she looks just fine.
Rochi nearly got it to go. Now Mabry. Oh, Scherf. How about that from Lauren Scherf? Fakes the handoff, gets it to go. She's been on fire.
It's not often you see Lauren Scherf put the ball to the ground with dribble penetration, but that was explosive. She went right around Bishop, and easy, easy finish.
Scherf up to 15 points in the ball game now, 6 of 9 shooting. Brings her team back within 4. Certainly doing her reputation no harm here tonight.
Well, it's good to see that her teammates are going to her and using her and recognizing that she does have a height advantage, that she's playing well right now, so let's keep her involved.
And the Lynx, here's some Scherf highlights right now. She's been unreal. For the Flyers, meanwhile, it's Beck Cole leading the way with 11 points, alongside Sarah Blitzarves as well with 11 apiece. 2 players double digits for Southside. What an up and down, exciting first half of basketball it's been. It's certainly impossible to pick a winner right now, Laurie, at least from my chair.
Well, it is, and for a while there I thought, oh, the Flyers have the momentum, but really Perth have then, you know, would come up with a couple of great baskets like that one of Lauren Scherf, the last one before the timeout was called. So really neither team have the ascendancy, but certainly the scoring rate has picked up this this second quarter, especially for Perth.
2 teams that probably like to run and gun a bit, maybe not as defensively minded as others, would you say?
I would say that definitely, Liam. Both of them have a lot of scoring power. They really just like to outscore their opponents, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them can really lock down defensively. That might determine the outcome.
It could be the key to the second half. Under a minute to go here. Mabry splits the double, finds her way to the bucket. Just couldn't convert on the left-hand lay-in. Perth, second chance. Chibatoni back inside to Mabry. She'll stop and pop for 2. Mabry up to 12 points now in the ball game. Single possession in it. Cole over to Rochi for 3. Just out of the reach of Bishop. Shot clock off. Wallace did well, got a hand in. It will be Perth ball, 9 seconds on the clock.
Well, we'll see if Perth can get a basket where it either ties or go ahead going into halftime.
Whitcomb will inbound. Here we go. Basketball in Ballarat, reach out round. Mabry gets the shot up. Maybe didn't need to rush it. Southside with a chance now. Cole mishandles. So that'll do it for the end of the first half. Southside 44 lead Perth 42. It's been a fun first half, Laurie.
It certainly has. Back and forth, some great shooting from both teams. You know, not as much defense, but we expected that from these teams. But once they settled in, great game to watch.
It's been Lauren Scherf leading the way with 15 points. She's been unreal. Mabry as well with 12. And for the Flyers, it's Colin Blitzars with 11 apiece. We'll catch you in 5 minutes to bring you the second half of this one. Southside 44, Perth 42.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
So, I think 20 is enough.
Yeah, that should do us.
Hello and welcome back to Ballarat for round 7 WNBL action. The Flyers and the Lynx, it's Southside leading by 2 points here. Liam Ellison alongside Laurie Chiswick. And if you like what you've seen tonight, don't forget about Aussie Hoops, providing a fun and inclusive basketball experience for 5 to 10-year-olds that serves as an introduction to a lifetime involvement of the game for over 100,000 kids per year. AussieHoops.basketball/find a program on your screen right now to check it out. Great way of getting into the ball game. Laurie, it's been a pretty fun first half. Maybe not a lot of defense, and the Flyers, interestingly enough, just 3 turnovers in a half of basketball. Very impressive.
Well, it is, and they're taking care of the ball, and they also, Liam, have great contribution from their bench. 18 points for players coming off the bench, and Perth have none. So, you know, that's a significant factor as far as I'm concerned towards the end of the game, where perhaps players have been able to rest a little bit more for Southside, and, you know, come the fourth quarter, that may have an impact.
The Flyers bench, they do bat deep, and even though the Lynx have had a really long time to rest and recuperate, that fatigue should set in, like you say, Laurie. Just about underway.
Well, it's always, you know, you can train and you can rest, but there's nothing like match fitness and really getting out there and playing games. So they'll certainly be tested over the next few days where they've got the 3 games. But, you know, they'll just work themselves into it. But what a great ball game we have. 2 points, high scoring. We knew that this is what it would be like.
Here we go. Sammy Whitcomb to start things off for Perth. Jackie Young. She finds her shot. That one a touch strong. Bishop pulls it down. Young yet to score so far in this game. 0 of 5. Bishop heads it over to Rochi. Bishop will stop and fire. It's front iron, no good. Perth ahead. Jackie Young. Chance to get involved. Mabry thought about it. Backing down, Rochi, spinning, fading. Oh, Marina Mabry. She's balling.
She's done those a few times where she backs her player down, just maybe a slightly smaller opponent. And when she spins, she goes straight up. Very hard to defend that.
Young gets the deflection. Great D. Mabry, transition 3. Another one for Mabry.
Oh, she's not somebody that you want to let her confidence get going and get her eye in, because we know what she's capable of. And all of a sudden, Perth to take a 3-point lead. 7 triples in the season opener, 30 points. She's up to 17 now in this one, 2 or 3 from beyond the arc. Perth back up by 3. Rochi inside to Bishop. And Whitcomb tried to steal it. Bishop finishes it off. Good recognition that there was a mismatch. They switched on that pick and roll, and Bishop had Sammy Whitcomb on her. Nice pass.
Down to Scherf. Nice move. Scherf continues her dominance. Rochi from the free-throw line. Too strong. Call from the ref here. It'll stay with Southside. Be a foul call assessed. You see that Mabry transition 3 again. She needs no hesitation, does she?
Well, you need to pick her up much earlier than where you can't pick her up at the 3-point line, because she will certainly pull the trigger well and truly outside that 3-point line. So you need to match up with her much earlier. And there's Sarah Blickov's answers. All of a sudden, we're raining 3s at both ends.
Offense continues here at Ballarat, Selkirk Stadium. What a fun game. It's been a 10-day layoff from WNBL, and we're back in style. Whitcomb pulls up for 3. The shootout continues.
Who needs defense when you can just shoot 3s?
Rochi hands it off to Bishop. Cole now inside to Bishop, moving it round the Flyers. Rochi will fire. Bang, bang, bang. The 3s are falling. Rochi gets that one to go, and it's tied up at 52 apiece. Both teams, Laurie, taking care of business percentage-wise from beyond the arc.
Well, Maddie Rochi was selling that really well, that she was presumably hooked by Mabry when Mabry's trying to post her up, and resulting in a Flyers ball and a foul on Mabry.
Chance to take a breath for both teams. Cole hands it over to Blitzarves. Young did well. Jump ball. Will stay with the Flyers.
Jump ball, Flyers keep possession.
And Young's been great in the defensive end tonight.
Well, she has. She's been really quiet offensively, but if you can still get the job done defensively, you're going to stay on the court. And to be able to contain Beck Cole on her penetrations.
Import's getting the job done for Perth. There's Rochi. Puts up the floater. It's back iron. Now Wickham dancing, trying to figure something out. Mabry stepping back. Oh, Marina Mabry continues this offensive surge.
Well, she's shown us that she can certainly shoot from the three-point line, and now she's showing us this turnaround jump shot in the paint.
Blitzarves on her left. Hangs and finishes for the Flyers. It's bucket for bucket here at the moment in Ballarat. Mabry fading away. A rare miss here in this third period. Cole back out to Rochi. Ambitious pass attempt into Bishop. And it'll stay with the Flyers. Last touch, Perth.
Checking in for the Lynx, Alex Chibitoni.
See that Mabry three again. It's a 19 now. 6 of 11 from the field.
Kate Gaze has just entered the game, another prolific three-point shooter.
No shortage of them here in this one, Laurie. Ball here on the floor as young Chibitoni, has hit the deck. Looks a little sore as well.
Oh.
Checking in just moments ago. Just found a bit of sweat on the floor by the looks.
Smiles all around for everybody, so it looks like she's not hurt.
See some lightheartedness out there. Good to go, Chibitoni. 3 steals in this one as well. Rochi inside to Bishop. 8 seconds to work with. Deep three-pointer. Rochi, no good that time. Mabry looks confident. Why wouldn't you be? 49 points through the season already. Tries to hand it back. Scherf's pass is a little off.
Oh, there we go. There's that 4-man. Sarah Blitzarves running the lanes and finishing it. And thank you very much to your teammates. Those passes are great.
Wallace with the dime. Perfectly placed. Mabry. Garvin hands it back. Blitzarves giving her no space. So, blocking foul on Sarah Blitzarves by the looks. There's that pass attempt again. Rochi getting the hand in, continuing her great defensive night.
They've got Christy Wallace on Mabry right now, and perhaps that's just that little bit of change up from Maddie Rochi. She's just got that height, she's got that length in her reach, so she can just, you know, step off her that little bit more. You can see her right there in the corner, total denial.
Rochi moving on to Wickham. Wickham hands it inside to Scherf. She'll head to the charity stripe. Blitzarves looks to be assessed with a foul.
That's the 4th personal foul for Sarah Blitzarves.
So 4th personal foul on Sarah Blitzarves. She'll head to the bench. Might not see her for a while, Laurie.
Gee, that's pretty crucial at this early stage, a quarter and a half to go. We know Rachel Jerry is certainly experienced, but Sarah just brings that athleticism and that X factor when it comes to scoring.
Extended minutes for Rachel Jerry, you'd think.
Well, I would think so. They, you know, without Jenna O'Hay being able to fill into that 4 spot.
17 and 8 so far in this one for Scherf, and misses. Missed opportunity. Break in play, says the ref. Got to clean up that. Looks like the same spot that Chibatoni slipped on.
Does, yeah. It's, you know what, it's a bit annoying when the ref stops it, but I think it's really good that, you know, you've got to make sure that nobody slips and gets injured, and so if they can see that that floor is still slippery, really good thing to stop it, and let's get it wiped up and clean.
Didn't look to be advantageous to either team either. Not a bad time to stop it.
Yeah.
Kept it cleaned up in a second. See, the Flyers are going to have to go to their bench a bit here. They've got Wallace, Jarry and Gaze out there, and as we spoke about, Jarry now probably with an extended shift. That bench depth for the Flyers, they lead by 2, could be a factor down the stretch. Reach out rounds here in the WNBL, round 7. Great to have you back with us after a 10-day layoff. Into Wallace. Long 2 for Bishop. Crashing the glasses, Wallace, but Perth pull it down. Sharp out in the ball game for Perth. Low block to Scherf. She's met with a double. Rochi. Chibatoni's got a world of space. Too strong. Chance to take the lead for Perth, and they squander it. 4.5 on the clock. Rochi, ambitious pass attempt. Now Young. Assessing her options. Backs it out to Mabry. Mabry steps into a 3. No good that time. Plenty of black shirts back for Perth. Wallace drawing the contact and Sharp.
I really like how Maddie Roch is pushing the ball, and you can just see her looking, seeing who's open. What would be a good option there? And nice back cut by Christy Wallace.
Maddie Rochi's been active all evening. Just the 2 points in the scoring column, but her impact is noted everywhere else. Wallace gets to go. Two for 2 for Wallace, who's having another great game off the bench. $25-0 in the bench points, Laurie. That is becoming an extraordinary stat.
Well, it is, and we talked about it. Is that going to pay off, you know, make it hard for Perth towards that 4th quarter?
When you've got the talent that Perth does, it may not even matter. Game on, 1 possession ball game. Rochi backs it out to Bishop. Garvin did well. Jarry with a hand in. Desperate bodies fly. Jump ball. See which way the possession arrow points. Bishop getting in there.
The defense has actually picked up on both teams, just getting in the passing lanes, trying to bump cutters a little bit more so that nothing's really easy.
So Perth will take possession here. Alex Sharp to inbound. Made her WNBL debut in 2020, Sharp. 9 points and 8 rebounds per game in her first season. Not bad at all. Limited minutes though tonight. Back out to Young. Nice cross for Jackie Young, and there's her first bucket. Does it in style.
And we need to see more from that, from Jackie Young, things like that. That she's got to have while she's had an impact defensively and pushing the ball, she needs to score a little bit. So we just saw that maybe here again.
Second attempt, no good for Young. See that aggression starting to pick up. Lotchie thought about the pass. Gaze, Bishop. Three ball for Bishop, rims out.
Great rebound, great block out by Perth.
Now Mabry, ever dangerous, steps back for three. Mabry, no! Nearly came up with it. Bishop, I think it's going in every time the ball leaves her hand.
Yeah. That's a good rebound by Abby Bishop.
Oh, Bishop with a pass to Rochi, and maybe a breakdown there for the Lynx.
Well, they've run that play a few times, especially in the first half, and they scored off one of them, and another one Mabry almost got caught. So it's something they should have scouted, because certainly they've done it a few times.
Here is Mabry. Some rare misses for the import. 21 in the ball game now for Mabry. Bishop inside to Wallace, who desperately lunges to keep it in. Lynx ball.
Checking in for the Flyers. Amy Rochi.
Just mishandled at the end.
Amy Rochi.
There's that Young take again. Strong move to the bucket.
Well, it was really explosive, so I'd like to see a little bit more of that from her. And then if the defense collapses, kick it out to a shooter on the perimeter, because you've got so many.
38% from three so far this game for Perth. We know how dangerous they are, as you said, Laurie. Foul call on the Flyers. Kate Gaze assessed with that one, getting tangled up with Young. Two minutes remaining here in the third period. 16 points apiece in the third. Young backing down Gaze, stepping, fading, touch short. Gaze and Garvin, big rejection. Looks very in control of that possession with Darcy Garvin.
Well, Darcy Garvin picked her up well outside the three-point line, which she needed to do, because we know she's a prolific three-point shooter. Kate Gaze made the right decision, thinking she had better foot speed and could take it to the basket on Garvin, but I thought Garvin did a really good job of containing and then blocking that shot.
Rochi inside to Wallace, pulls up for two, and Christy Wallace continues her stellar evening. Whitcomb inside to Sharp, running out of real estate, backs it out to Garvin, three-pointer from the top. It's a touch strong, and Wallace pulls it down. Big screen from Jarry. Wallace is everywhere at the moment. She'll head to the charity stripe.
After both teams just coming out from halftime on fire, shooting a plethora of threes, both teams have gone a little cold right now.
It's been a strange couple of minutes after the first five. Wallace looks a little bit ginger on that angle, should be good to go. And first one is good for Wallace, who's taken care of business from the free throw line today. No good on that second attempt, so she splits a pair. Out to a 5-point lead now, the Flyers. Whitcomb all the way to the hoop for two.
That was just too easy. The Flyers can't afford to let Whitcomb just have that driving lane to the basket.
50 seconds on the clock. Here in the third period, Gaze trying to make something happen. Hands it straight to Garvin. Whitcomb directing traffic. Just mishandled it to Young, so after what's been a really turnover-averse game, both teams starting to mishandle the ball at times. Gaze over to Wallace, throws it into the leg of Sharp. 20 seconds on the clock. Shot clock's off. Whitcomb all the way to the hoop.
Oh, no.
Missing on the lay-in. Straight up the court to Wallace, and it's up and down basketball. Both teams look gassed at the moment. They could do with a break.
Absolutely.
4 seconds on the clock. Young got a fire for three. Young, no. So that'll do it for the end of three. It's the Southside Flyers 65, leading the Perth Lynx 60. We've got the fourth quarter of action coming up very soon. It looks to be a cracking finish. See you then. The Flyers 65, Perth 60.
we're not strong enough, not fast enough. Wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. And do we dunk? Hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Hello and welcome back to the Ballarat Sports and Events Centre. It is the Regional Festival of Basketball here. Liam Ellison alongside Laurie Chiswick to bring you the last quarter of action here. It's the Southside Flyers leading this one by 5 points with 10 minutes remaining on the clock. And Laurie, some good news in the Southside camp during the week.
Well, there was. It's a really good feel news story where they were ranked Australasia's 16th best sporting team for 2021. They were the 5th ranked women's sporting team overall. So, you know, at first I went, oh, what's that? But out of 168 teams across 16 competitions, they got that ranking. So well done to the organization, the player, coaches, owner Jerry Ryan, and what they do for the community.
Incredible. Great to see some recognition for the 2020 champions as Bishop is stripped. Look to be putting out another strong team here as well in WNBL 22. Trying to make it back-to-back chips. Inside to Scherf, who misses on the easy lay-in.
That was an assist killer. That was a great pass, a great read by Jackie Young.
Scherf, a rare miss tonight. She's got 17 to her name. 64% from the field. Cole pulls up for a long two. Bishop with the O-board, so a fresh 14 for Southside. Cole, not a lot happening, and mishandles out of bounds. Maybe fatigue setting in.
Lynx get possession.
Cole had 11 points at the half. Hasn't hit the scoreboard since.
Maybe she was getting a bit of rest in that third quarter so that she could have a real impact this last quarter.
It's a good point. They had to go to their bench quite extensively, the Flyers, Laurie. Bench points as well. 25 to zip, can you believe it?
It'll be interesting to see how long Sarah Blitzov sits with 4 fouls as she leads the Flyers scoring with 18 points. And they really need her on the court, but you don't want to put her on too early.
To play out here for both coaches. Cheryl Chambers with some things to think about. And Mabry looks a world of confidence at the moment, chatting to the referees, laughing away, and she's right at home here in WNBL 22.
She certainly is.
Leading scorer in the ball game once again.
We often talk about how imports take a few games to sort of get the feel of the competition and the referees. Well, her 30 points the first game, no problem.
Taking no time at all to get used to the competition.
And she's got 21 already in this game.
Here she is, Mabry. Rare miss, so she's got a little bit cold over the last 5 or so minutes, Mabry. Cole, bounce pass to Jarry. Nicely done, Southside. And all of a sudden, the Flyers with a 7-point buffer. Mabry, she makes something happen for her team. Young retrieves the miscommunicated pass. Young pulls up. Jackie Young, much needed Jay.
The Flyers aren't making it easy for Perth. They're really up and in, making them shoot contested shots.
There was something we questioned early. Could they bring the defence when he counted? And so far, as Wickham cops a whack to the face, the ref didn't see it. Just the rebound attempt. Wallace knew it straight away. So may have missed one there, the refs. Looks like it will indeed stay with Perth. And the Towels have got a fair workout.
It's actually gone the other way to the Flyers.
Tough break for Perth. So here we go. Rocci to inbound. Here's Maddie Rocci. Bishop puts it on the deck. All the way to the hoop. Abby Bishop. Nice take.
It was. It's good to see their big in Abby Bishop putting the ball to the floor.
Here's Garvin. Did she make something happen on the other end? Inside to Mabry. She'll want to fire if she can. Stripped by Rocci. 3-on-2 situation for Southside. Young did well. Just got there in time. And running the fast break. Scherf misses on another lay-in.
Oh, that's 2 baskets that are real gimmies for Lauren Scherf. And you just can't afford to let Southside get out to any more of a lead than they are right now. They're just too potent.
Will it come back to haunt them? The Lynx. Bishop for 3. Now Wickham got 11 to her name, and again the seas parted for Sammy Wickham. Easy lay-in.
That looked like a very fatigued Beck Cole that she drove around.
To be fatigued from both teams. Flyers with a less than ideal preparation into this game. We know COVID's gone through their camp. They can't be understated. Mabry.
I think Perth just needs some match fitness.
This time, Scherf gets it to go. So timeout on the floor, chance for both teams to recuperate, and it is back to a 1-possession ball game. Southside by 3.
And that high pick and roll that we just saw Lauren Scherf score off of, they've had so much success doing that, again, I would continue to do that. If your defense collapses, Lauren Scherf has been making great decisions to then pass it out to your shooters. Then she's in a rebounding position too, so you know what? Keep doing that. You have to defend Mabry. You can't, you know, step off of her at all. So that's a pretty potent combination when they run that high on-ball screen. It's
been Rocci and Wallace as well who've had turns defending Mabry, and Rocci in particular has been fantastic on the defensive end in this one.
Well, she certainly has. She just gets in and is so annoying if you're an opposition player, but you love to have her on your team.
Yeah, one of those players who'd be very frustrating to play against. Just always there, making an impact.
And like I say, that, you know, it's not only just she fights hard to get over screens. She fights hard to get her hand in the passing lane and be there.
2 steals in this one for Rocci. But even that doesn't quite show what she's done on the defensive end.
Well, and not only the defensive end, but she's been the real court general. She's really organized this group and slowed it down when necessary, pushed it when necessary, and had played at a really good tempo.
Beck Cole powering on. That's a tough 2 attempt, and Sammy Wickham pulls it down. Lynx have got their tails up here, and Jackie Young pushing in. She's starting to get more involved, Laurie.
I think she heard us. We wanted her to get more involved offensively, and that she certainly has this last quarter.
Back to a 1-point ball game. 6 minutes to go. Cole, 3-throw line jumper. Maybe she heard us too.
Great answer, Beck Cole, coming off that on-ball screen as a scorer, having that scoring mentality.
Rocci and Wickham, 2 big players in this one. And Sammy Wickham draws the foul. So that's foul number 3 on Maddie Rocci. In fact, it's number 4. So 2 flyers now in foul trouble. Blitzarves and Rochi both with 4.
2 shots at the line, hit a 7, 2 shots.
And when do you pull the trigger on the Blitzarves substitution, Laurie?
Well, I was just looking at the clock going 5.5 to go. I think I would pull the trigger pretty soon, pretty quickly. Especially with this scoreline the way it is right now.
Certainly game on. And Whitcomb goes 2 for 2 and brings that margin ever closer. 1-point ball game.
And there she is, Sarah Blickhaus checking into the game.
Caught it, Coach Chiswick. 1 point the margin. Blitzarves is back. 5.5 to go here. It's been a fun ball game. Blitzarves rolling, she's got to opt it out. Wallace, corner 3. Wallace drains it. Gee, she's been good off the bench.
That is a big-time 3 in the context of this game.
4 points the margin, and those bench points continue to climb for Southside. Whitcomb to the hoop. Hangs and finishes.
Just that little change of pace and the determination to get to that basket and finish.
Whitcomb's second half in particular has been unreal. It was only moments ago we said it's been a quiet offensive night. She's now got 17. Cole, a little strong. Flyers with a second chance. Cole fighting on. And Garvin pulls it down for Perth. Alex Chibatoni back into the ball game. Perth going to the bench. Young, who's been good at this 4th period. Garvin needs some assistance. Interestingly, Mabry taking a break here in the 4th.
Yeah, I thought that too. I think we'll see her checking back in a minute, along with Lauren Scherf. We can see on the sideline there.
So here we go, Rochi. Subs lining up for Perth. Single digits on the shot clock. Mismatch maybe for Bishop. Nice passing, the Flyers blocked by Young. Clean, says the ref, and how about that from Jackie Young?
Good defense, good help.
Rose up and rejected the bigger and taller Sarah Blitzarves. Whitcomb did well, got a hand in. Now Mabry back out there. Scherf running the lanes, and this time she gets the foul call. Scherf a chance to breach 20 points.
You can see how Mabry just got the ball up in the air. You know, Beck Cole's much smaller. Get it up in the air, let Scherf catch it with her soft hands. She should have finished it though and have been an and 1 right now.
Been a few of those missed lay-ins for Scherf this quarter, but she's taking care of business from the charity stripe here.
Do you think we're looking at overtime, Liam?
Very well could be. Cannot split the two at the moment.
No, it is basket for basket.
What a game to open up Festival of Basketball here in regional Victoria. Here in Ballarat today. Lynx a big round 7 for them. 3 games as Wallace into the hoop and Bishop pulls down the O-board. Another opportunity for Southside.
Oh!
The 3.
What a rebound, offensive rebound by Abby Bishop, and then a big 3 by Sarah.
Up to 21, Blitzarves. She had a good 10-minute break there with 4 fouls. Hasn't slowed her down at all. Chibatoni throws it back into Rochi. Turnover. Now 3 minutes on the clock. Southside, a bit of pep in their step at the moment. Cole, spinning, turning, can't make it. So Mabry, who else would you want the ball in the hands of if you're the Perth Lynx? Wide open in the corner, Alex Sharp, no good. Scherf battling down there with Bishop. No score on the bucket. Looks to be a foul call on Lauren Scherf. Just the second personal. for the Perth Centre.
Lots of time left in this game. 3 points is nothing the way both teams have been playing.
And what a finish it was in that Perth-Adelaide game as well. Mabry, 2 huge threes down the stretch, Laurie. In the end, it was an Alana Smith pair of free throws that won it, but we know they can really get hot from long range as Wallace steps into a 2. Here is Mabry. Going to be calling her name a lot over these last 5 minutes. Southside with a big stop. 2 minutes on the clock.
Good decision to slow it down, get the ball through some hands, shift the defense, get yourself in a good position for a good shot and a good rebound.
Bishop hands it back out to Rochi. Single-digit shot clock. That'll be a reach-in foul on the Lynx.
Second personal foul on Jackie Young.
Well, this is exactly what we expected from these two teams. High scoring, close game.
Spoke pre-game, Laurie. We thought it was going to be fun. It has certainly delivered here in Ballarat. Big 2 minutes coming up, you'd think. Bishop gets Garvin off her feet. Follows her own miss, pulls it down. Rochi's got to retrieve it. Chaotic basketball at the moment. Turnover. Rochi just fell out of her hands when she needed it.
Neither coach have really used a lot of timeouts this game. They've just sort of left it to the players. It's been close, so you sort of go, well, if I call a timeout right now to set something up, that means defense gets to plan something as well. So
we've certainly raced through this fourth period, it feels like, but I dare say they'll start using them over the next few minutes, Laurie. 90 seconds to go. Mabry inside to Scherf.
Oh.
And she struggled from inside the paint here in the second half, Lauren Scherf.
Well, she has, and she was so successful that first half.
Southside, chance to make it a 2-possession ball game. Rochi, Blitzars will stop and pop. 3-pointer no good there. Wickham wasting no time. 60 seconds to go. Hands it off to Garvin, who misses on the lay-in, and this is quickly becoming the story of the fourth quarter for Perth.
Well, it is. They certainly had their opportunities.
4 or 5 off the top of my head that have been missed inside the paint for Perth. Southside, chance to make it really difficult. Rochi draws the foul on Young, no score. Baseline ball for Southside.
Personal foul on Jackie Young.
So number 3 now for Young.
So there's really just, if Southside used the full 14 seconds, then Perth have the decision. They want to come down and have a quick hitter, give themselves a chance at a no board, but they need a 3. See if they can get a stop here.
Rochi trying to make something happen. Too long in the key, says the referee. Perth bench is up, and that is a big stop in the context of this game.
So still no timeout called.
Going to the scorer's bench. Just to chat something over. A few confused looks on the Southside bench.
So if you're Southside and you're up by 3 on this defensive play phase, you want to switch everything. Give them a 2, give them a layup, but do not give them a 3 to tie up the game.
So many options as well from 3 for Perth. Ever dangerous, as is the captain Whitcomb. Mabry, who better to have the ball? Garvin steps into a 3. Perth, though, another opportunity. 16 seconds on the clock. Garvin again, save!
Oh,
this time she drains it. 77 apiece, and Garvin has pulled it even for the Lynx.
And now there is a timeout for Southside. They will draw up a play, they'll advance the ball, and they'll look at one last shot. This is exactly what happened against Adelaide at a three-point shot by Mabry. This time it's Garvin.
If I can correct myself from moments ago, that was a captain's play. Darcy Garvin, the skipper, gets it to go. Overtime, Laurie, we spoke about it. It looks like it very well could be headed that way unless Cheryl Chambers has something to say about it.
Well, I loved how Darcy Garvin took that first three, missed it. They got the O board, they kicked it out to her again, and she did not hesitate. Take that again. So really good decision by Darcy Garvin.
Shooters shoot, and Perth, we certainly know they can hit them. 33% from three today. Hasn't quite been the unbelievable performance from three we saw in their season opener, but they remain a serious threat. Who do you think they look to as their number one option on this offensive play if you're Southside, Laurie?
Well, 10 seconds is a long time. You can draw up a play. I think they've got so many options. Sarah Blickovs is in form right now in this game. Abby Bishop is always a target and makes good decisions. So if she's double teamed inside, she will kick it outside. Christy Wallace, we know she's come in this game and had a real effect. So I have no idea.
Plenty of options. Wallace will inbound. 10 seconds to work with. Is there one last twist in store here in Ballarat? Rochi races baseline. Wallace steps into a corner three. Might be out of bounds. Out of bounds, says the ref. Stepped on the line. So Perth now will have an opportunity.
Did.
Geez, there must have been centimetres in that. 4.1 on the clock.
So love this game. We have loved watching these two teams, and so we get overtime. Fantastic.
Cannot complain. 5 minutes of free basketball. Two unbelievable teams. Title contenders even. I hesitate to ask you, Laurie, but do you have any idea who might win this one?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that. Well, the only thing I would base my decision on is the fact that the Flyers have used their bench more. And so maybe they have a few more legs. Having said that, they're in a little bit of foul trouble with Blickovs and Kate Gaze. And, you know, the experience of Sammy Whitcomb, Mabry, they might just go, you know what, we're just going to get this done. We lost a 2-point game before. We're not going to lose this game. So, again, I have no idea.
Yeah, Rochi as well in foul trouble for the Flyers. She's got 4. 27-2 in terms of the bench points. The Flyers leading in that column. So, as you said, they certainly have the depth, the Flyers. But maybe it'll be the stars for Perth. We see Mabry here, and what a game she's played. Slowed down maybe a little bit in the second half, though, Laurie.
Well, I think Perth would be, you know, when they re-watch the game, whether they win or lose it, they'll just be, you know, those couple of really makeable layups that Scherf missed, Garvin missed, and I think Whitcomb missed one as well. So, you know, they'll be ruining those options. But you know what? Right now, it's overtime. It's still anybody's game.
Yeah, 4 or 5 of those missed opportunities. And a game that's gone to overtime, it's pretty fair to say that could have cost them, but 5 minutes of basketball remains. Chance to correct those errors.
I think we have to, when we look at the bench points for the Flyers, Christy Wallace, you know, could well have been a starter by the minutes that she's played, and she's had a significant, you know, impact off the bench in the replacement of Jenna O'Hay.
She's been unbelievable, really. 16 points in 23 minutes. 3 steals as well. She's been efficient shooting.
Look at Ryan Petrick's just like, really? This is our second game. We lose the first one by 2, and now this is OT?
Great for the blood pressure, or maybe not so good for Ryan Petrick. Here we go. 5 minutes of basketball remains. Mabry to kick us off for Perth. Scherf, Garvin, swinging it round Whitcomb.
Oh, that was in and out.
Rochi's got it, and she does well, keeps it in.
That was good ball movement by Perth. I like that shot in the corner by Whitcomb.
So Southside have gone chips in here. Rochi and Blitzarves, both with 4 personals. They're out there, it's crunch time. Wallace hands it to Blitzarves. Hasn't Wallace been great? Blitzarves just about triple team. Bishop, can she take advantage? Perth pull it down. Mabry across, tries to drive left, and Wallace did really well. They made that move about, I think, halfway through the third period, Laurie, putting Wallace onto Mabry, and that's been one of the coaching moves of the game, I reckon.
Well, it has, and as I said, it's just Wallace has that little bit more height than Rochi. She's got that length, she's got beautiful arm wingspan, and she's been playing great and has a lot of confidence.
Great to see Christy Wallace having an impact at this level after an injury interrupted start to her career. Blitzarves finds some space. Garvin closed really quick. It'll stay with the Flyers. Rochi. Wallace flying out of nowhere, crashing the glass. Fresh 14. Now Beck Cole. Young. They get tangled up. Jump ball. And again, Jackie Young having an impact defensively. Give me that, she says, and they get tangled. So 4 seconds on the clock for Southside. Both teams yet to score here in overtime. Blitzarves spinning, got a fire. Good D.
I'm not really sure that they had good shot clock recognition there, Southside. There didn't seem to be any sense of urgency to get that shot off in 4 seconds.
Yeah. Blitzarves headed back to the basket with just 2 or 3 seconds on the clock. Wallace again getting a hand in. Mabry and Wallace getting tangled up. What a fun matchup that's been.
Oh.
Oh, and Scherf just looks shot with confidence at the moment. You've got a feel for her. That's probably the 5th one she may have missed. She was so good in the first half. She's got a double-double, 21 and 10. Her game as a whole has been fantastic. Bishop stepping back. So Sammy Whitcomb now. Garvin hit a big 3 at the end of regulation. That one a little strong. Young just falling out of bounds. What do you say to Lauren Scherf at this point, Laurie, just to get the confidence back up?
Well, I think what she needs to do is when she catches the ball is just take a split second, make sure her eyes are on the target, and just slow herself down a little bit. She's so open. She just is finishing too quickly or not finishing.
Hasn't been a lot of basketball played as well for Perth. Between the lockdowns over the last few years and the interrupted start to this season, of course the shortened season last year, probably haven't just had a lot of competitive basketball maybe in the legs.
So has anybody scored yet in overtime?
It's yet to score, both teams, 2 minutes remaining. stark contrast to the game so far, which has been up and down.
Oh, there, you see there, she hesitated. Will I, won't I shoot? Now she's really thinking about it too much.
Southside trying to break the deadlock. Rochi, the floater, in the lane, there it is. Flyers take the lead. Now Mabry. Garvin stretching out the floor, Chibatoni checking in. And she's got the step, makes them pay. And Perth draw even once again. Maybe fatigue starting to set in, Laurie. Offense has slowed down a touch for both teams. Rochi. No good that time.
This is so intriguing. They're very fatigued, both teams.
Mabry hands it off. Here is Scherf. Now she makes him pay. That time, no worries. Scherf brings Perth up by 2.
And I'm glad, I mean, that play is working for them. You might tend to go, well, Scherf isn't scoring.
Chibatoni nearly got a hand in. Rochi holds on to it. Blitzars, no hesitation. Big stop for the Perth Lynx. 50 seconds on the clock.
Southside really need to get a stop here.
Perth looking for their first win of the season. Mabry stepping back.
Oh, Sammy Wickham.
Did just enough. Back out to Garvin. Mabry. So she's drawn the foul, and you can just tell some of the players out there look gassed.
That was a massive offensive rebound, or not even a rebound by Sammy Whitcomb, just a flick it out, a deflection, get it to my teammates.
She's been great today as well, Sammy Whitcomb. 6 of 9 from the field, 17 points.
2 shots to count.
Meanwhile, Mabry, she's been all right herself. 6 dimes as well. We haven't spoken about that. She's had an all-round performance, Marina Mabry.
Oh.
Uncharacteristic miss there.
She wants to make at least 1.
So a chance to make it a 2-possession ball game. Instead, it will be a 3-point game. Timeout on the floor, 30 seconds to go, and the Lynx with the 3-point buffer.
So in this situation, Southside being down by 3, they want to come up with a play where they can get a shot fairly quickly so that they have a chance at an O board, maybe kicking it out to a 3-point shooter again, or if they miss it and Perth get the rebound, that they can foul them straight away and stop the clock and then try and, you know, get a steal, get whatever it is. But they don't want to work it around too long and take too much time off the clock, but they want to have a good look.
How much preparation do you do in practice for these moments, Laurie?
You do. You have situations where you're up or down by, up or down by 3 with 2 minutes to go, or you're in a situation here. If we need a 3, this is a play that we've practiced at training. Now, Perth, conversely, as we said, at the end of the game for Southside, they need to switch everything. Doesn't matter if Southside get a 2-point play. They just have to make sure they don't foul the shooter, and they switch everything to not let a 3-point shot go up.
That's the equation. Perth lead by 3. It's been a long wait for a chance at their first win here in the WNBL. They've travelled across the entire country to get here in Ballarat. Can the Victorian Southside Flyers stop them? Hands it back to Rochi. Maddie Rochi. Handing it round, they're looking for the 3. Blitzarves forces it up. Good defence, Perth. So Perth will take possession, it seems. Desperate for that 3, you can see. Perth did really well defending the 3-point line. And they've got a foul, so Mabry to the line. Would you have done much differently there, Laurie, if you were...
Well, the only thing I could see is that when Sammy Whitcomb left Rocci to go help and Rocci got it back, that maybe she could have just put it straight up. I mean, it was really good defense by Perth to make her feel like she just didn't have that shot.
So not in the bonus yet, the Lynx. Whitcomb inbounding. So they'll foul Mabry. Probably the preferable option if you're Perth.
So as long as Mabry makes one of these, you would think they'd be safe then, in that it's a two-possession game. Oh, she misses that first one.
Another miss. Now 2 of 5 from the free-throw line, interestingly, today for Mabry. Good on that one. And it is a big free throw, as you said, Laurie. 4 points the margin. Rocci, she's got a fire. No good. So that'll do it. The Perth Lynx, the visiting Perth Lynx, mind you, 83-79 winners here in overtime. What a performance from the Lynx. And gee, Laurie, they had to wait a while for that one.
They've been in their hotel room. Brian Petrie called it, they've been in hermit mode. They've played that one game. Now this one they've come out well-deserved. What a great game to start off again this little season that we're continuing.
It's been a roller coaster really for Perth. We saw Scherf and Mabry early dominating, and then for both those players it somewhat dried up a bit. We saw the likes of Whitcomb step in, and how good to see Scherf have a big bucket towards the end after she struggled from inside the paint a little bit.
Well, and I thought in that fourth quarter and in the overtime, Jackie Young was exceptional, especially in that fourth quarter, just her scoring output. But again, just her leadership, what she brought to the court in a pressure situation in overtime.
Likewise, Maddie Rocci didn't quite show up in the scoring column. In fact, she was 3 of 13 from the field, but you felt watching the game today she had a really big impact on this one.
Well, she did. As I mentioned, she ran the tempo of the game. She made sure that the Flyers were organized defensively. We know how she was just got under the skin. But as you mentioned, Liam, it was a really good change in coaching strategy to get Christy Wallace off of Mabry. I thought she was just so confident in backing Rocci down for a pull-up jumper, and she didn't do that against Wallace.
How about the game of Christy Wallace? 16 points off the bench, 28 minutes of action, 3 steals as well. We've spoken a bit in this one, but gee, she's had a tough run of it so far. Knee injury in 2018, interrupted, return to basketball, COVID impacting that as well. And she's come in and started here and looks to be a real star of the future in Australian basketball. Yeah,
and I mean, I've always been a Christy Wallace fan. I love the way she plays, the way she moves. She's really light on her feet. She's got long arms. She plays some good defense. So I was really happy for her that she had, when given the opportunity, she took it and ran with it.
Perth, the victors, though, they get their first victory, of the season. Just 6 of 21 from 3 today after shooting 50% from beyond the arc in their season opener. Marina Mabry led the way with 23 alongside Scherf, who had 23 as well. And we spoke pre-game, Laurie, maybe a title contender, title favourite even?
Well, I think when they signed Sammy Whitcomb, we all went, wow, that is one big lineup, scoring power, scoring punch. And I think they've shown that in the last 2 games that they can put points on the board. So I would think they would certainly be in the mix.
Yeah, that would be up and in that top 4, you'd think, for sure, the way they're going. But it is game on. Rest of round 7 here. It's the Capitals and the Lynx on Friday night at the National Convention Centre. So Perth will head up to Canberra. That'll be fun. And then the Melbourne Derby Saturday afternoon. That'll be live on Fox Sports and the ABC, 5 p.m. at Parkville in Melbourne. And then to round out round 7, the Lynx will finish off their triple header against the Boomers live here at Ballarat. 6:30 p.m. tip for that one. Should be good. Great to have WNBL back here. The regional festival of basketball has kicked off. And it is the Perth Lynx with their first victory of the season, 83-79. Liam Ellison here alongside Laurie Chiswick. It's been great bringing this one to you. We'll catch you next time.